Hey everybody, Mrs. Bianchi. What is the median score on the quiz? So I want to remind you about the three measures of center, sometimes called central tendency. Here they are. And they're asking us to find the median. So the median is the middle number in an ordered data set. Now, the difficult way to do this, which I don't recommend, when you're presented with a dot plot, that's already doing the work of organizing the data for you, because sometimes they'll give you a random list of numbers and they won't be ordered. They're already in order for you. So if I just write out these numbers listed out and I ask myself, how many data points do I have? You can count the dots. We have 20 data points here. There's 20 dots here. Or we could just list out the numbers and count how many numbers do we have, and we have 20 values here. So that's important to understand that this number, getting how many data points there are, is half the battle of finding the median. So now if we were to list out the numbers, we would find the halfway point. And how would we do that? The halfway point, you would take how many values you have and you divide it by 2. Now, because this is an even number, that's going to make this just a little more complex because half of 20 is 10. So that means the halfway point is 10. So we can either count 10 in, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 from the low end, and then count from this end 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that means we have two numbers in the middle. Do you see where the red dot meets the blue dot? These two numbers are in the middle. When you have two numbers in the middle, instead of just that one number, which would be true if you had an odd number of data points, like if this had been a 21, for example, then you have to find the mean of the two numbers that are in the middle. And how do you do that? You add up those two numbers and you divide by how many there are, which is going to be 2. So if we add up these numbers, now it's my hope that you can see what it would be. Most of you could tell me what the median would be given the fact that these numbers are the same. But just to go through the process, if we add those two numbers, we would get 18. And if we divided that by how many values we're talking about in this yellow box, that's 2 values, and we'd be back to 9. So the median would be 9. Now, if we were going to like just draw a line, oops, I didn't draw that very nicely, in between, the value 9 would be in the middle. Now, so you have to ask yourself, what's the answer, right? Because you're going to be choosing 9 as being the median. Now, I just want to remind you all, what if you had to find one of the other measures of center? They didn't ask in this case, but if they asked for the mode, that's the number that occurs most often, so that would have been the 9. And if they needed the mean, you would have to add up all these values. You would add up 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus all of them, get some big number, and divide by how many data points there are, which in this case is 20. Now, again, you don't have to list out the numbers like I did here. This is just to help you understand. You would want to look for strategies for how you can come up with the sum using the dot plot. So just as an example, if you had to find the sum of these numbers, wouldn't you be multiplying 7 by how many dots there are, which in this case is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which would be 35. You would group them that way to get your sum a little bit more easily.